Alright, so there's 2 entrances, so I could have one out for mail and one for customers. That's cool. Because we get about 20 to 40 deliveries a day, so it makes life a little easier if there's a second entrance.
Exactly, yeah. You don't
back
want
here.
Coming in.
Okay, I have parking.
Yeah, if you like. Yeah, that's what I was thinking actually.
Yeah, I was joking because one of my employees was a mechanic for 20 years and also was in the military so, and we every now and then I joke about having him work on Teslas, but this actually has a garage. So that is...
Yes, it's literally a garage. And if you wanted to, you could throw a wall up right here. Literally make it a little parking spot for you. Make yourself, nice little office if you like.
Let me just get
entrance right here.
What it looks like from the corner here. Just lighting. Alright, what is this guy? Wow. That stuff is old.
Yeah.
Here. Electrical panel. This looks like it's got considerably more than what I have at my store right now. That's good. What's in here?
Bathroom.
Ah. Huh. Classic New York. Alright. Let's get a yoink. Alright, let's make a yoink. Alright, let's see how everything will fit. What did this used to be before?
It was a dry cleaner for about 30 years.
Uh-huh.
And then it was a deli. And then it's been on the market for, I think, 8 months now. So the landlord's motivated to get it done, to get it leased. We think your use is great. So, you definitely consider a reasonable offer.
Let's see. Oh, you crashed, you piece. Alright. You piece of junk. My toy died. Oh. One more. No. 19 by... Alright. Is there a basement or just top floor?
There's a basement.
Alright, let's take a look.
Basement, 350.
How do you get to that? Is it from the inside or the outside?
No, go around.
Alright. Not impressed with the battery life on this thing.
Did you work with that?
Not bad.
Good.
Gentlemen, watch your step. Face me, you have 2 little storage units in here. There.
This is another one for us, or?
Yes, sir.
Oh, alright. This is. Okay. Not bad at all. A little small, but there's actually a vent down here. That's interesting.
And then back there, just if you want to look, it's just the boiler room back there.
Huh. This is the block. Get an idea of foot traffic or lack thereof.
Well, no, I already did.
How long was that laundromat here for?
It's here for a long time.
Yeah, I can imagine.
It's operated by the landlord.
Yeah, I can just tell from the font on the sign. It looks like something from the 30s war poster.
Yeah, it was old.
So you have this door over here, and you have your second entrance over here, and then you have the garage entrance over here. Very cool. So, garage entrance. In case, so let's say we're getting a large delivery of quicks or ultrasonics, you don't have to just pump them all in through the door. We could actually open the garage. You have the door. That could be the employee door. And this entire thing, this whole window is completely open. So you'll be able to, people will be able to see all of that. You walk in. You got your nice 1930s store with your 1940 security camera. It's lighting throughout already. That's interesting. So, Let's imagine customer flow. So, there, banana, etc. Waiting area. Kevin, Hannah. Employees only section. Olga, Tagir. Let's say Orhan, Olga, Tagir over there. Steve, data recovery bench over here. Chris, Anel over here. Paul, master desk here. Shipping bubble wrap. That's going to be an interesting one. All right. I've seen everything I need to see.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, you're welcome. Nice to meet you. Alan, good to see you again.
Nice seeing you.
I used this thing 5 times. I already killed its battery.
Oh, really?
I think it's like around the corner. I can walk to the next place. It's no big deal. As long as I remember where I left it.
What do you think?
It's not bad. I'm still kind of liking the other Midtown space better just because it has a bit more usable of a basement. It's not separated and cordoned off. It's more accessible from the inside. I do like, you're right, this has a large front.
Could this fallback as a retail location?
Huh?
Could this serve as a fallback?
It could.
I mean, it seems like you have a growing business. The additional space
Yeah,
is of value.
Yeah, this has more space for selling stuff, whereas the other space has more, the Midtown, I mean the 30th Street has more space for working. So, since I do more of, it's my parking spot over there.
Okay, but this could work. It's a possibility.
Yeah, it's a possibility.
That's good.
But I definitely have the preference for that 30th Street one because it has, you have much less frontage, so you have less that you could show people, but you have more space to work, and I do less selling, more
that's
working.
Critical.
Yeah.
I would think it's a destination business. People will know where you are, and they'll go there.
Yeah. So next up, you said we have a building.
Yeah, we're going to 545 8th Avenue. Very easy on the use. They have a tenant on the 7th floor, which most likely will leave. They have around, I think, 3,300 square feet.
If we see a deli on the way, can I stop and buy 2 AAAs?
Sure, of course.
I think the landlords are staring at this and zapping the power out of my batteries. That's the only thing I could guess, because I've used this thing like 3 or 4 times,
You know, they
and
really
it's dead.
don't like it when you measure office space because you have loss factors.
Oh yeah, they don't like the fact that I'm calculating the loss factor in front of them. So if they say, they say this place is a 30% loss factor, I have to show you. There's a space I went to, they said it was 1,800 square feet a few weeks ago, and it was 800. So I mean, you said 1,800.
This was it above grade?
No, it was a store.
It's a store. That's unbelievable.
Yeah, but I mean, they
That's
said,
really cool.
actually no, it was they said it was 1,800, it was 850 something. But like, I measured it in front of them, and they said, no, you have to understand, it's not me, it's them. And I said, did you post the ad, or did they post the ad? And she goes, no, well, I'm like, yeah. It's like...
Did you approach the landlord directly, or was it a broker who said you?
It was a broker. This is around before I found you, and I just round up.
I mean, a lot of them are clueless.
Yeah, I think...
They're clueless.
I mean, like...
We're really good, though.
Yeah, because if you were off by a small amount, or if you said it was 3,000, it was actually 1,500, but it was such a good deal I wouldn't care, I would understand it. But what I don't understand is, how do you expect to show this to me, and actually, what do you expect me to do when I show up? I don't...
You know, you're savvy. You'd be surprised that there's many tenants who they have a very emotional reaction. They don't take the time to measure a space. On retail, there should not be there should be at most be a 10% loss factor.
Yeah,
on office, it's all over.
Yeah, in an office, I understand. They're saying, there's the elevators, the hallways, everything else, but how are you getting, where are you calculating a 50 or 60% loss factor into a store is beyond me.
They're trying.
Huh?
They're trying. They're
Yeah.
trying. I mean, it would be to their benefit if they could pull it off. And probably, let's say they have 50 prospective tenants that view a space.
Yeah.
Maybe a few of them aren't going to pick up, but they're going to say, the hell with it, I love the location, I need this space.
So you said that the 30th Street space, they were entertaining, what was it, 12.8?
They need $70, which I think is $12,833.
Okay, so,
They need $70.
so they're entertaining that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, well, I think if you said 70, we have a deal. Now, what we haven't negotiated, we haven't addressed, because we were part on the economics, is the buyout if they terminate the lease.
Yeah, that's
You
one.
want them to buy out for $150 and give you free rent for 6 months.
I would even be willing for a little less in the free rent and a little less in terms of notice if they were willing to give more in the buyout. Because the thing is, I understand that to them, most likely, getting you out of the building so they could demolish as quickly as possible is important. But also for me, if I have to start this whole process over again and rebuild a new space, it needs to be, that entire process has to be compensated for, because that's a nightmare. Like with the space I have right now, if I rent a new space, I still have that store. I could do business out of it until 2023 if I wanted to. But if they say we're demolishing the building, you gotta go, that puts me in a place that's even worse than where I am right now. So I would need to see something in the 150 to over 200 range.
What kind of makes sense? They probably want to see we're on the same page regarding the economics.
I think
and
also,
then that would be the next stage of the discussions with them.
Yeah.
If you tell me we're okay on a number, rental number, I can go back to them and negotiate that.
I shouldn't have left my helmet in that space. Right. Oh well.
What'd you do?
I left my helmet there.
Oh.
I'll pick up another one.
I can make arrangements to get it back. I'll
I
give
don't
you a call later and
yeah,
you just
thanks.
stop by when you have a chance.
All right.
You live in Bedford-Stuy?
Yeah, Bed-Stuy.
What's that like over there?
It's not bad. I mean, the thing is, like, I don't want to live in a neighborhood that's a complete dump, but I don't want to live someplace that's too nice, because I like being able to go home at the end of the day, turn some music on, not have people like, there's a film producer that lives in the floor below me and another music guy in the first floor.
The buildings are beautiful. The architecture is wonderful.
Yeah, it's great. That my building, the outside doesn't look great, but the inside of it is beautiful. You have 25-foot ceilings, all brick on the wall.
It's unreal.
Like 25-foot ceilings. Where are you going to find enough?
How large is your apartment?
It's
One bedroom, two bedroom?
970 square feet, but it also has a little alcove that adds about another 100 square feet. And I love this tool. It's the first thing I practiced on. And it started off at 1,600, now it's 2,000. But to have an all brick, 25-foot ceilings and an all brick wall for $2,000, 11 minutes from my place is amazing.
Well, 11 minutes from where?
From the East Village, yeah, 1st and 12th.
You get there in 11 minutes. Subway?
The bicycle.
Yeah.
Subway is like 15 to 30 minutes. The bike is
You can get there in about 11 minutes by bike?
11 minutes and 10 seconds is my record. Some people would not suggest.
You must be going really fast. You're going fast.
The speed limit
Is
for
it safe?
electric bikes is 19 miles an hour.
And you're going at 19 miles an hour?
Absolutely, I wouldn't go a mile an hour above.
That's really funny.
The thing is, if you're riding in the street, I can ride normally, but when there's some sort of accident or a traffic stop, I can just go around it. And you save so much time being able to do that. The cool thing is, have you ever been sitting in the car and waiting and stuck in traffic and just kind of curious what caused this, but you don't know?
Yeah.
The best part about having the bike with the motor is that when that happens, I can just ride around, and then I can actually get to the front and see what it is that caused the accident. And it's like, I've never been able to answer this question because I've never been able to do that before. And most of the time, it's somebody that chose to get into a fight with somebody on the street, or like, homeless guy that wanted to wash the windshield of some guy's car and then he cursed at him and now they're arguing in the middle, or it's always something really, really dumb. And
So you figure thousands of people are waiting for some idiocy.
yeah, thousands of people are waiting over the most petty of arguments. You have AAA batteries? Oh, cool, thank you. You got an ATM as well, very nice. Thank you for pointing that out, I would have missed it. Yeah, AAA. How many? I'll take a 4-pack, that's cool. Yeah, I'll take a 4-pack. English.
What is that? You doing the video?
I'm recording some of the spaces. I'm trying to find a new store, so I can look over them later. It helps me be able to look over them later. I should tell you first. There you go, my friend. Thank you very much. Back in business. These in there. Actually, that's a good drink on that.
Yeah, music.
Yeah, I haven't bought a ticket in weeks. Just staying away. This guy don't love me. He don't even give me no winning ticket. Super. 7-11-21.
Thanks, man.
What's that? Oh, someone got $200.
You're a lifesaver. Nobody had batteries. Use this. All right. It's been
And Subway for Bedford Star is what, half hour? 20
yeah, like
minutes?
20 minutes to a half hour. The G and the L have been getting crappier and crappier over the last 10 years, so.
Whatever happened with the L? They didn't close it and they're doing the renovations at night?
It was supposed to be closed for them to do renovations, and that, like they were going to close it long term, but too many people protested it. The thing is, if they do decide to close the L, like, and I mean not just at night, but permanently for like 6 months to a year, the property values in Williamsburg will suffer. Because, you know, that neighborhood when I was growing up used to be a dump. And it was a decent dump.
It was industrial. My family had a manufacturing plant in Greenpoint.
Yeah, like
I remember that from the 80s. You had like hookers and drug dealers walking around.
Yeah, so you know what I'm talking
Avenue
about.
or whatever it was.
Yeah, now it's all organic juice places and hipster bars.
Totally different.
And,
no resemblance.
yeah, but they're basing the $4,000 for a crappy studio, $8,000 for a nice studio kind of apartments on that it being nice, but also the proximity to Manhattan. And once you cut off the L train, those property values are going to be in the toilet. So there was a lot of protest, I imagine, that kept them from closing the train.
I wonder if they can do what they have to do between, say, midnight and 6 in the morning.
Yeah, like even in 2009, when I was taking that when I lived in Canarsie, after Lorimer, the service would get crappier, and after Myrtle Avenue, it was a coin toss as to whether you were getting home. But there's way too many people taking those trains. I mean, I stopped taking the train a year and a half ago when I put that bike together because it was too much for me. And you may have to wait for 3 trains to come before you can actually get on one anymore. And even when
crowded.
you can, maybe I'm just this.
Look, I think the
society's way of telling me to lose weight or something. But
subway system's a disgrace here. They haven't done a decent job in maintaining it.
why do you think it's gone into the toilet?
Why?
Yeah. What do you think is the problem
Many
with the subway
reasons.
system?
I think the unions are just sucking a lot of the funds from the MTA. I hear like they have 2 engineers on each train, and they make like $150,000, $175,000 a year, and they're eligible for early retirement, like ridiculous, like at 50, 52. Another reason is the technology is extraordinarily outdated. Like the switches are from the 30s, and there's too much distance between the trains. They could run a lot more trains with newer technology with better switches.
Interesting. Yeah, you hear about the switches breaking regularly. I'm curious, because I don't know much about it.
Yeah, I mean the switches, the whole infrastructure is from the 1930s. It's not going to run efficiently. You know, and what they do, another reason, is the upgrades. When they renovate the stations. They paint them, new concrete, whatever, which is important. They'd be better served by upgrading the system itself, the trains.
Yeah.
Where did you grow up?
Staten Island.
Staten Island. Were you always in this business?
In some way or some form, yes. I started doing the specific niche that I'm doing right now at the end of 2008. I used to work at a place called Avatar Studios. Do fixing music equipment, tape machines, things like that. I had an internship there when I was 17. They called the people who were 27 to 28 years old kids. So I figured, I'm 17. I could be here for 10 years and I'm still going to be seen as like a kid. So once I learned everything that I got to learn, I quit and I went to work for the smaller studio that I thought I could make a bigger difference in. Then the financial crisis happens and they tried to renew their lease instead of at $17,000 at $37,000. Once their lease was up, which is one of the reasons that. Yeah, when I see Newmark Knight Frank, I just keep walking. Because I remember the experience that he had while he was trying to renew his lease in the film center.
Well, they're just the agent. They're not the landlord.
Yeah.
These larger agents tend to be on the more prominent buildings, so they can be more expensive. But I mean, it's a horrible thing to do to a good tenant during a recession.
Yeah, they had that building
backfired on them.
Well, they had that space for 13 years. I think it was 1995 to 2008, and he had about half the floor of the film center, half of a floor in the film center building, and he was paying $17,000. And then they 17 or 17.5, and they just said we want 37 or 38. So at that point, I just quit the place that was still open, and I can't go back there. And then
So what, you started the business at that point?
Yeah, well, I was working on this session with somebody, and I needed an Apple computer to finish it because it used this program called Logic, and it doesn't work on a PC. So I got one that was broken. I figured, if I work on studio gear, maybe I can figure out how to make this thing work, so that I have a cheap machine that I could do this session on. I didn't need it anymore after a month, so I sold it. And after I sold it, I made about $250. And I thought, I'm broke. I used to make $400 a month. I just made $250 for 30 minutes of my time. Let me try that again. And I just kept doing it over and over and over again, and got more involved in it.
Let me understand this. What did you fix? You fixed?
Oh, it was just a basic, easy laptop with a broken screen. It was, the easiest thing on earth. It takes 10 or 20 minutes to do. But the thing is, there was an actual marketplace for people to buy these things, but also there was a market for people who didn't want to wait 1 to 2 weeks for a shop in New York City to order the parts. So I figured, okay, I don't have a lot of money on me. I've got like $300. That's enough for me to buy like one screen for each of the 3 most popular machines. So that when somebody calls me, I can and they say, how long does it take? I can say 20 minutes. And nobody cared that I was showing up in basketball shorts, that I was, 19 years old, inexperienced. All they cared about was that the fancy store said it'll take a week, and I told them it would take 20 minutes. And then it started, branching off into...
So where were you operating out of at the beginning?
Herald Square.
Herald Square.
I would meet people at their offices, or I would just meet them in the park.
That's great. So was this lucrative? It sounds like it was lucrative from day one.
Yeah,
it's a great idea.
No, it was just, it's when you find something that people want, and then you find out how everybody else is providing it wrong. The cool thing is there's an in. Even if you don't have the money or the exposure or the brand name, if you can figure out something that somebody else is not doing as well and just that some people want, you find it in. And I never relented on it. So I found all the other things that the other places didn't want to do or that people wanted done, and then I just spent my time trying to figure out how to do them. So we got really intensely involved in, let's say, liquid damage data recovery. Other places...
Well, data recovery, there must be a fortune to make in data recovery.
There is...
People pay for something like that?
Yeah, there is, and the thing is, a lot of the places that do it either don't know how to do it, and they just do the basic work, like the very basic stuff that software can get you, and if that doesn't work, outsource it to a large firm, or you go to a large firm where you're going to pay $2,600 to $40,000. So if you could sit somewhere between that, then you win.
What do you charge for data recovery of a hard drive?
On a drive, anywhere from 100 to 900. The average, like if you need a lab, it's between the $400 to $900 range. And other companies are doing, $2,000 to $10,000 for that.
Now, on that $400 to $900, what kind of profit margin do you have?
I mean, well, like the entire thing, really. I mean, you may be paying $40 or $80 for a donor.
Labor? Does it require some specialized labor
for
somebody to understand the directory structures and what happens to the data?
Yeah, all of that. But I mean, the profit is essentially, it's not wasted up in everything else. Once you've got the tools and everything, I'm just paying somebody who knows how to do it. Or let's say when it comes to when it comes to a cell phone, there it's again same thing. You pay, what you're really paying for is the amount of time for somebody to sit there for 80 hours with this particular device until they figure out how it works. You're paying somebody to just sit there and do nothing that's profitable until he figures it out, and then after that, it's just everything after that. It's profitable. So let's say for like if you throw a cell phone into the ocean and you're on the beach and you have pictures in there, you have information for a court case. It's anywhere from $300 to $650. And sometimes it's a winner. Sometimes, it takes 30 minutes to solve the problem and it's $400. Sometimes we put 30 hours into a single case and we make nothing because it's a no-fix, no-fee service. So,
but I guess things with certain numbers average out, and you can say, well, the average of 1,000 devices is on the 900, it's $250.
Yeah, and also you have to know when to quit too. So if you're smart, even if you get a lot of devices that are junk, you have to be able to make some measurements and go, okay, this is something I think I can get versus this is something where I'm going to put in, I know by making these measurements, there's a 95% chance I put in 30 hours of work and I don't get it, so I'm just not touching it. Even if it is recoverable, I'm not putting in the 30 to 60 hours.
So
and you have to figure out...
What do you tell the customer in that case?
I mean, you just tell them the truth, really.
Could you charge them more and tell them for X reasons, this is more labor?
Yeah, like we've had people that really, really genuinely wanted it, and in that case would have said, I understand, but we can't do no fix, no fee for this. We would have to take some fee, even if we're not able to fix it, because there's such a low likelihood of getting it. See, the thing is, whether or not this entire model is profitable, it depends on where you draw your lines. Like some places will charge money regardless of whether they can get it, but they charge a little less. Some places are no fix, no fee, but they charge $10,000 to $20,000, so it doesn't even matter. You got to find, and the difficult thing is that a lot of our customers are normal consumers. So if I can't tell them $5,000 to $10,000, they'll lose it. I can't tell them super low price because if I do, I'm not going to be able to pay people. So you have to find a model that works, and it's really hard to find a model where you're not wasting time on things that have a low chance of recovery. You're not letting things...
So the policy is no recovery, no fee.
No recovery, no fee for the most part, for most jobs.
Is your business predominantly data recovery, or is it sort of even between device repair?
Well, it used to be more device repair than data recovery, but with the newer devices, if the device breaks, you need to fix it to get your data. So take the newest MacBooks, for instance. You used to have your computer and you used to have a hard drive that was separate.
Right.
On the new machines, they use solid-state drives, which are better, they're much faster, it's great, but they solder or they weld it onto the board, so it's a part of the machine. So with an older machine, if you break it, you can just, you could buy a new one, but you can still get your data. You just unplug it, bam, you plug your SSD with your data into the new machine. With the new ones, if you break it, your data, you have to fix it, even if you don't like it. Even if you don't need it anymore, you need to fix the machine to get the data.
What do you charge them? Do you charge them for the repair of the device and not data recovery, or is it a double whammy? You'll get both.
It's kind of a double whammy because I need to fix it. So even if I only fix it half-assed, even if, let's say, I cannot get a picture to display on the screen regularly, or I can't get the USB ports to work or anything like that, I still need to fix the board to the point where I can get it on to get the data off of it. So it's like usually $425 in those cases. And it's
And how long does that take? An hour or two?
Oh, that's the thing, and you never know. All right, so this is the next building. This is a really nice entrance. Let me just make sure. never gonna get a shot of the inside. I'll just do it from the side. All right, so this is nice building. All right, let's see what they got here.
If you lose it, it's fine. I'll bring another one.
This right here?
Thank you.
Right. Is one of the, okay, so what I want to do is I'm going to go up to the 7th floor to show us the garage. Well, actually, somebody feel like an attendant, because I'm not sure which side of the 7th floor. It's better if I go with the attendant. Is one of the attendants here? Okay, you know, we'll go up. I think I know where it is.
Yes, sir. What floor?
7.
Three elevators.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it's a good building. And the lobby's more impressive than the quarters. You have an avenue location, then you have a very good lobby. Now, I don't know how your
These superstitious people.
no 13?
I
It's
really,
very common.
I want to start some sort of club where every, you know, if you get the 666 serial number of a product, you get a discount. Or if you're looking for real estate that's cheap, you can get it on the 13th floor or something. Like coupons for all the stuff that superstitious people won't take.
That's an interesting idea.
But I haven't told you, I'm not opposed to a space on the 13th floor.
Okay, I'll keep that in mind. I think it's going to be in five over here.
What are you looking
That's okay. One moment, please.
Let's see.
I think this is. Unless it's the other side.
Usually, see when I see a fire door open in the middle of the day in a midtown building, it's because somebody's smoking weed on the balcony. Maybe it's just because I've worked at recording studios too long, but that's typically my impression. And you could see that it's see like I didn't even have to say that. I could have just showed you the sign. But that's so this is yeah, you can get a good idea what everything in New York looks like from here. It is a lot of stuff back here. Alright, back inside. Let's work.
I can't reach 5, but there's no trellis, so I'm not sure where. I think it's on the 7th floor.
Number 720 is the room to the left where it's the dynamic tickets. That's the room that's free, open on this floor.
Okay. All right, thank you. Okay, I'll have to reach Joe.
Thank you very much.
It's dynamic.
Yep, well, I don't think it, I know it.
Okay. You know what, let me call the agent.
Sometimes the security guard might have the key if Bud's not available.
Yeah, he's not here
When
at the
you
moment.
reach the building number, they'll transfer you to another building if it goes through past Bud.
Okay, thank you, sir. One moment, I have to try to get hold of the agent. I think it's here.
Let's take that shot.
Would you be okay with this building?
It's not terrible. Just the sign-in thing is a bit of a downer, but I realize that any building in Midtown is going to have that.
Talking about 3,200 square feet, and I'm not sure if it could be 33, maybe 3,000.
Yeah, I want to see what it looks like when we get in.
46. You're talking also about $12,266.
It's really interesting to go into these buildings, and even knowing that it's in the, all of this stuff is in the financial capital of the world. It's still in this technology over here. It's just kind of like it froze. Look at how old this stuff is.
Yeah, hi, sorry to bother you, Alan Rosinski. There's no attendant to show the space, and we're on the 8th floor. Which tenant is it? What's that? 5th, and somebody's there now, do you think? Okay, someone's my customer, thank you, I'm going there now, thank you. Okay.
Let's check it out.
It's warm today.
I like the shirt. Very
Oh,
stylish.
thank you.
It's
A big protest in New York City today. There's 3 million people.
what are they protesting?
Climate change.
Oh.
I think mostly kids. Probably politicians will notice that because they'll vote in a couple of years. So.
Yep.
They don't want to be running around in Lower Manhattan.
Yeah.
Next one.
Going down.
Is it safe at Bedford Stuyvesant now?
Yeah, it's pretty safe. I don't get bothered often.
Do you see poverty in the area or not too much?
Yeah, all the time. I mean,
Oh, really?
like I have there's no cat litter in the delis in the area for the past few years because I bought it online, and I would get home and my box would be opened up, and my landlord messaged me saying, you can't keep boxes there because people break the window of the door and they try to destroy the door to get to the box. And I'd figure once they get to the box and they open it and they see that I bought cheap cat litter, they wouldn't steal it. But they take it. And this isn't even, Fresh Step or fancy stuff. Yeah, this isn't Fresh Step, the $5 cat litter. We're talking like the $1.99 cat litter. It's a poor area for sure. I mean, the reason I moved there is because it was cheap. The first apartment I had there was $700.
Nice architecture, though. Yeah, hi. No one here? Thank you. We're gonna go. 7, it's apparently on 7.
Yeah. Like when I moved there, I was broke, so I was expecting it to be.
Doesn't sound pleasant.
Yeah, like when I moved there, I could barely afford $700 a month for an apartment. This was, like the beginning of 2009. So, but if you're looking for a place where you're around people that have money or that are not, broke all the time, then you wouldn't want to live there. But for me, I'm used to it because I started.
In that, I had it once. I lost the business. Well, I sold it ultimately, but my cash flow was awful. I couldn't pay my credit card bills, and I wanted to buy an air conditioner. My wife wouldn't let me do it. I had us buy a fan. Just you can't do that. You can't spend $400. This was back in 2002. I had something like $900,000 in frequent flyer miles with Amex. And I didn't have the money in my bill.
Wow.
I lost some miles, and it's really stupid because the miles were worth a lot more than what I owed the credit card company. Maybe out of $5,000.
Yeah.
It's an unpleasant situation to be in. It's an educational situation to be in.
Yeah, you learn things when you're broke.
Yeah.
I learned a lot from it. I think one of the reasons that I put as much effort into work as I do now is to not want to be broke again. Because I feel, it doesn't feel like it was 10 years ago or even 9 years ago. It feels like it was yesterday. And I get that thing in my head when I leave early and I get home. If I get home and the sun is still up, there's that lurking guilt of, am I going to still be able to live here tomorrow? And, I'm not at the point financially where, I was at a point financially where, crap, I may be kicked out next month. Then it was, oh, crap, I have enough to pay my rent for 3 months, but what about after that? Now I'm at a point where I don't really have to worry about that stuff anymore. But that thought just hasn't left the back of my head. I don't know.
It's healthy.
Because I have it in my...
It's traumatizing. You feel very threatened in situations like that.
Yeah, I realize that the moment that I get a little too comfortable or I start saying, I don't really have to care as much, or I don't have to care if we're as nice to our customers, or I don't have to care if we're as competitive. Going back there is not going to take 10 years. It could happen in a minute. If the moment that you stop doing your job well.
I mean, also you're in, so am I. You're in a real service business.
Yeah.
What happens if you're not physically there? Does the business run? Do you have good people?
Yeah, it runs. It runs well. There's good people. It's just there are stupid things that wind up getting missed. Like recently, the post office. There was a manager, and the employee there did not ask the manager who came to pick up everything to scan all the packages. He lost everything. I had him on camera. I had him on the phone saying I did show up and then I didn't. So we were able to get the postal inspectors to show up. But
wait. They picked up boxes. They didn't scan them, and then the boxes got lost.
Yeah, they lost about 27 packages or so.
What were the packages? Would they say hard drives, things
like that?
That?
Some of them were cheap things like chipsets. Some of them were people's cell phones. I mean, but it was about $1,800. Or there's another time that I didn't, the payroll company. We had let someone go. Management said to them that they let them go, but they were still continuing to pay them. It's these types of things. I don't have to be there for the nitty gritty of actually doing data recovery and fixing stuff anymore.
It's like the administrative stuff.
Yeah, but if I don't have an eye on it, every month there would be about $4,000 minimum that just flies out the door. Not from theft, but from stupidity. And, you just have to, that's the kind of stuff that I have to put time into to be on top of. And it's a pain, it's a waste. But
at least you have a profitable business.
Yeah, I have amazing people. The people I have, I'm very, very grateful for because they do, they treat the place as if it's theirs. They treat every single job as if they're working on their own stuff. And that's just something that I realize I'm very lucky to have found. And
no, that's key. I mean, I owned a commercial printing business from 88 to 03, which I sold. Luckily, I sold it, and it funded my entry into this industry. But I had maybe 10 people working for me, and it was really taxing to just watch what was going on. And it was custom manufacturing, and things could go wrong. And when they went wrong, it was costly.
Yeah, I think one of the things that becomes frustrating over time is apologizing for other people's mistakes. Because I screw up things all the time, but when I apologize for something I did, it's kind of easy. It's really hard to apologize for somebody else, picking up a package and then just taking it and not caring. Call recordings really help in those regards.
Yeah,
as do
you're fortunate because there's certainly a lot involved. It's profitable. and it's a high growth industry.
Yeah.
It's a great industry to be in, and you know the landlords like it. They recognize that. That's a plus. How are you?
Yes,
I missed
how
you
are you?
downstairs.
Huh?
We were downstairs.
Did you see the guard sitting in the front desk?
I want to take a look at the space. How are you? It's
What
been
space?
a while. No worries.
Here, I'll give you.
How you doing?
And
What space? The 740?
no, the larger one, the like the 3,200, 3,000. You can't jump on. It's a tenant. It's to be-
Right.
And what we're looking for is around 3,000, 3,200. So things in a space like that.
Right. Okay. The tenant is not in yet. They have the alarm and all
That's
that
it.
stuff. We can't get in there right now.
Do you have
have to
anything-
make an appointment. You can't,
Well, Joe, I spoke with Joe this
I know.
morning. He said I
Yeah.
could get in.
Yeah, you can get
Um,
in after they, they have alarms and stuff.
Do you have a similar space that we can see? Could you
Um,
describe it?
It's just an open space. It's a salon.
It's
From
a-
front to back, it's
What
open.
kind of salon?
Yeah, like
Hair
a
salon?
Hair salon,
It's a hair salon.
You have a floor plan that I can look at?
yeah. He can send you something. We can send you something.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
Do you have my card?
Um,
Could you send me
I
a floor
think-
plan?
yeah. Okay, I get come on, let's see something. I'll show you what the whole open space looks. Yeah, right above it.
Yeah.
Actually, the same exact space above it.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you have something that looks similar,
Yeah.
'cause I just want to be able to visualize it. I want to record what it looks like on the inside, and
Right.
be able to visualize where we would put everything,
Oh, okay.
and if it would work for us.
They won't have a problem. This tenant won't have a problem. When you come in on the 7th door was right here, right? So this whole space going back.
Excuse me. Hello. Hello.
There wasn't a guard downstairs?
There was a
This
guy
is-
downstairs, yes.
Hey, I'm sorry, it's open there, I'm sorry.
Right.
Okay.
AJ, can I call you back? So I'm showing his face at the moment. I'll call you back.
But,
Thank you.
I'm not gonna have to speak.
So what? It's just like this.
yeah, right below. Yeah, this is, this is how it is. Hey,
Hi.
I'll be back in a second.
That's pretty large.
You wanna take a look?
Yeah.
Go walk down. Straight down. So it's all this, and just, all of this, right? It's almost the exact, well, it's the exact same thing upstairs. All of this, but now with kitchen area,
Oh.
this picture.
So it's exactly the same downstairs?
Yes, exact same.
Do you think they want to leave, or it's sort of maybe, or you think it's likely they want to leave?
Well, their lease expire next year.
Do you
Early
know
next
when?
year, not exact date, Joe will have that.
Early next
Yeah.
year, like January,
Yes.
February?
Correct.
Do you know the size? Because when I spoke with him, he was a little.
About 3,000.
It's 3,000.
Yes. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. How is this look to you?
Not bad.
Same windows, same everything layout the same way downstairs. Exactly. Straight up to that wall. When you come in straight into the space, all the way up to there. Right?
Yeah, I saw there's
Including
little
all of
offices.
this. Including all of this. The wall is right there.
Mhm.
Straight down. Coming right back. That's the exact
Identical.
same thing.
Identical.
Yeah.
Great.
I
It's
just-
as good as
yeah.
seeing the space
Yeah,
downstairs.
Gotcha. Okay. So yeah, that's the thing. When are you looking for the space?
Yeah, pretty much as soon as possible, really.
Oh, yeah, he's gonna have to do with it for that. Yeah, I don't know what has to do with that.
You know, probably the earliest you could get a lease on would be at some point in October. So.
Or if you need a little more space, you can go same thing. I don't know, that would be in the 4,000 range. Not this way, on the 7th floor. Probably. You can relocate the other tenant. Yeah. You can relocate the other tenant and see if you need more, 4,000. Well, how is the size of that?
It's not terrible.
Yeah. It's what you're looking for, you need more, you need less.
It's about the amount of space that I'd be looking for.
Okay, so that's exactly what's on the 7th floor. You know, they're usually like around 11:30, 12 o'clock. If you're,
So if we show up later, we could get it.
yeah, in the afternoon they're here. In the morning they work late, so they'll stay.
Okay, but I mean, we have an idea. It's gonna be the same. And that is it for today.
Yeah, I believe so. So, I still think that the 30th Street one is the one that's in the lead, really.
Are you okay with the $12,833 dollars a month?
The money isn't the issue. I just think that what it's going to come down to is we're probably not going to want to have a building where we have to sign into it. So I still think I'd rather negotiate with either one of the stores that we saw rather than focus on a building at this point. Like, I appreciate you showing me it so I can get an idea.
I want you covered. So
Yeah,
you know.
but like in terms of having people have to sign in to get up, that's going to be a big kick in the. So I think I'd rather stick with either of those.
Would you, can you live with the $70 a square foot?
Yeah, I think I think that I can do, so long as we can work a little bit on the demolition clause.
Okay, so
And I think that there should be some sort of room to be flexible on it, because again, the only way that that's going to be used is if they're getting rich.
so I'm gonna say that okay. So for the demo, you want a penalty of $150,000 paid to you.
I would almost go for a little more than that, actually. I would see what happens if we ask for, let's say, 2. I would ask for 2.
$200,000.
Honestly, at the store, Steve was saying I should probably ask for $250 if we're talking about a demolition clause, but I don't know what you think.
Who was saying that?
The person manager at the store.
That's for $250.
Yeah, see what happens. Because again, the worst they can do is say no, but as long as they're still at the table.
Maybe if they're demoing and they've won lotto and they'll pay the $250.
I think, yeah, again, his point, and I agree with him, is that if they're demolishing the building, they're doing that to build a tower, that means they're rich. They're hitting pay dirt for that.
Okay.
So I don't assume that they're rich right now. I'm going to treat them just like if they were me. But if you're demolishing the building, you're doing that because you're getting a lot of money. And I need to,
Okay.
and you need to make
So
my life easy if that's the
let's
case.
say you're okay with the $70 a square foot.
Yeah, 70 a square foot is fair. I'll do it. And
But $250 for the demo. Want to reduce the notice
Yeah.
time to what was it?
I'll be open to reducing the notice time if they up the money. So I would be
So you
open
know what,
to.
let's keep it at 6 months. If they hem and haw, we can offer.
If they hem and haw, I would rather they reduce the time than the money. So, like, if they want to reduce it down to 2 months or even 90 days, I would do that if they're willing to stay with the amount of money. Because I understand that if they want to get everybody out of the building, the time is going to be more important to them than money.
Now, I mean, the other thing we didn't discuss, and I didn't look at it too carefully, and it is what it is. In the revised offer I sent in a few days ago, I did put in details on the on 150. I
Okay.
use that number. We'll ask 250.
We'll see.
And tell them we're okay with 70. You understand that we offer 2% escalation. They came back at 3, which we agreed
I was
to.
expecting.
And the security we agreed to, which is 3 months, which is a really good
3
security.
months is fair. Again,
So, okay.
those terms are fair, and
And of course, it's going to be contingent on you bringing a contractor in to get a estimate for.
yeah, I'd like to be able to do one walkthrough before doing a lease with a contractor, just to make sure I don't miss anything that's blatantly obvious, like bad electrical wire. I want to know what I'm in.
Down the 34.
Yeah, so if it is possible to get in there with my contractor, and he's going to be available virtually any time in the afternoon or early evening.
You have a contractor.
Yeah. So I would just want to have them come by, take a look, walk through the space, look at everything I looked at. Because like there's one space I saw on Avenue C, and I did not realize that they built a wall over flood damage. I didn't see it, and he did immediately and pointed it out and asked 30 questions that they had no answers to. And like there are other spaces where I've seen where he asks questions and there's reasonable answers, and it's a space that works. I just want to, but I don't know any of this. This is not my area of expertise.
Say, it'll make sense. They're going to be okay with that. That the Lexington Avenue space could serve as a fallback. So plan A will be to finalize on 134 West 30th. Plan B would be to negotiate on Lexington.
Yes.
Okay, that's good.
I think going hard in for the 30th Street space was the best bet. And I'm happy that they came back to the negotiating table after you made that offer. Because they're like, I was, wondering in my head if they would or not, but the fact that they came back means something. So I think that we would be able to work out a deal with them, and I'd be happy if we could work out a deal with them. Because that space, honestly, is the front runner of the ones that I've seen so far.
Okay, good.
I mean, it's not like the best block in the world, but the location as a destination-based business is very good, being a few blocks from the trains in Midtown.
Right.
In terms of access, it is the best location that we've seen so far. And it also has enough space to fit everything in the business.
You get a nice size basement. Too.
Yeah, I mean,
It's
you
like
get a discount.
workable space
You get it.
in the
There's a
basement.
discount on the square footage because there's no natural sunlight for the back of the store, and it's an old ass building. But that's the thing, you know, there's going to be a compromise anywhere I go if I'm looking for a discount, and that has the compromises that I'm interested in. You know, I don't care if it's in an old building, I don't care if it's on a block with a police precinct, and I don't care if it's, you know, there's no light outside the immediate front of the store. That's fine with me.
When you factor in the loss factor, it's a damn office rent for retail space.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's something that I want to make, you know, I definitely want to stay at the table with them and see, you know, work things out. I think we could come to a reasonable deal.
Yeah, I think we'll...
And I trust your judgment in terms of bargaining with them, or how to bargain with them.
They're very responsive, so I don't think they're going to string us along. We'll know either way within a couple of days.
Yeah. And I appreciate the advice that you give me on what I should bargain for, what I should ask for, and what I shouldn't, because obviously you're going to know this far better than me.
It becomes very repetitive, so I get a sense of where there's give and where there isn't.
I'm going to be here.
So what I'm going to do when I come back, before I call them, I'm going to put together a revised offer.
Okay.
I'll send it to you, and I'll also send it to the landlord, and I'll give David Berger a call later today. And my guess is by Tuesday we'll have a response, maybe earlier.
All right, yeah. I don't want to seem too eager with them, but the earlier the better. Mainly since we are getting close.
Look, they know there's a lot of retail space on the market.
We are getting close to winter, and we don't have heat in this place, so the sooner the better.
What's that?
We are getting close to winter, and there's no heat in any room but mine, so I will have a revolt on my hands.
Hopefully we'll get something done quickly. You'll get in there, and let's say you signed a lease October 10th. You could conceivably get in there in December.
Did I ever wind up telling you what happened with the? Where are we walking, by the way?
Am I going to take a bus or walk? I'm going to walk this way.
Oh yeah,
No,
I forgot.
sorry, I think I took you a little too far south.
No worries. Did I ever tell you whatever wound up happening with the restaurant that said they would give zero concession? It was a $10,000 a month space, and he said if I get a restaurant in here, I will be able to get them to pay $50,000 key money for all the restaurant equipment here. So I would not give you a single concession if I'm not charging you for the restaurant
I'm
equipment.
sure the space is still empty.
Yeah, I mean, it's filled with roaches and all the restaurant equipment he's talking about. It comes out to like $5,000 worth of stuff.
Look, you know,
But the funny thing is, so I said, no, you know, I found a better space. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. He comes back and he says, I'll give you a month. I'm like, I'm not really bargaining with you. I'm not even asking for a deal. It's just we found another space. Thank you very much. He said, I'll give you 2 months. And I said, listen, I'm really not bargaining with you. I'm not trying to bargain. I found another space. Thank you very much. He comes back with 6 months. So, like, I'm not even saying I'm interested.
Did you approach them directly, or did you have a broker who showed you?
No, there's no broker.
I mean, that's the thing, you know, they figure when they get a tenant directly, they're going to have a field day because the tenant doesn't know what's customary and prevalent in the market. So,
I had no idea.
Great, I'm not going to give this guy any concessions. And, you know, he's not too bright because, no, he's greedy. Probably very smart because your business, it's got a good chance of making it through 10 years. Even if he gets key money for the fixtures, it's probably a 50-50 chance he'll be out in 2 or 3 years.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of these, because the thing is, what business is it that everybody says, this is my dream to open? If somebody gets, you know, if somebody gets inheritance or wins lotto or gets a large bonus or something, it's a restaurant or a bar. That's what all the kids in the suburbs dream of owning someday. They travel here.
That's the last thing. That would be like hell.
And they don't know how to run a business. You know, it's not, they're not bad people, just they don't know how to run a business. They get, you know, they inherit their money, they rent a store with it, they run it into the ground, 2 years later they're gone. And it sucks, especially when you turn a place into a restaurant.
Most startups fail in any case.
Yeah.
But that's very expensive to build a restaurant.
Yeah, and then you turn the building into a roach trap, because if I open my business and I fail, okay, you have some solder on the floor. If you open up a large restaurant and you fail, you have a roach infestation. That's going to cost, with the level of roach infestation that he has, that's like a $6,000 to $8,000 for me to get rid of it, and it could come back again. Because those are going to be in the walls. They're going to be in everything. And what I think he's done that's bad is he's kind of just let it fester.
Retail landlords and agents is kind of questionable. It's sleazy. A lot of my deals are more or office, and I'm very careful with retail. You can't predict what the landlords or their agents are going to do.
What makes it like that?
I think a lot of it is the spaces are owned by small landlords, and they don't like to pay brokers. And then what happens is, unlike office, the brokerage firms are smaller, and they don't want to share a commission with the tenant's broker. So they kind of string you along, and if they get a tenant on their own, they'll throw the tenant broker and their tenant under the cracks. It's just sleazy. I mean, I would hate to see what would happen if you approach one directly as a tenant. It'd be a field day, which you've seen.
I think he thought, this is a fairly young guy who doesn't know a lot about business, who's a nerd and kind of strange. I'm just gonna, milk it for it as much as I can. If I seem really hardball, he's just gonna take it. And what's funny is that I wasn't trying to actually. We tried to strike a deal for half an hour. We got nowhere. And when I said, yeah, it was about 2 weeks ago, 2 or 3 weeks ago, I believe. Yeah, I believe probably 2 or 3 weeks ago. I think we originally saw the space at the end of August. And
so the landlord himself was there.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, he would say that he was the landlord owner, but then he would also say, I'm going to forward your offer to the owner. So I'm not sure if he was pretending to not be the owner so that he could, have bargaining power later.
Kind of play games because he could be the son or the cousin, or he could have an interest in the building and he's a managing agent and a broker as well.
Yeah.
Who owns what gets confusing at times.
So seeing that Midtown space made me it opened my eyes to what could potentially be available, because I had not been considering Midtown or anything even remotely retail in the area, because I thought in my head everything in this area is going to be 30,000 and up if there's any sort of reasonable space. And once I realized that wasn't the case, I had to ask myself, why am I pigeonholing myself to Avenue B and 4th Street where I'm going to be away from...
You're going to get a lot of business, hopefully, a fair amount of business customers, corporate customers.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully I get the police station as a customer, but that's something in and of itself. But
now, by having a storefront, does that pull a fair amount of business for you?
We have a sign outside. The thing is, it's hard for me to tell how many people show up because they see the sign and how many people just show up because they Googled us or because they saw us on the news.
Do you have a strong online presence?
Yes. If you Google most of the things we do, we usually show up first, second, or third. And
do you buy AdWords?
No. I stopped doing that 5 years ago. Because
very expensive.
It's not that just that. It's that the month after we stopped using AdWords, we were sinking $6,000 a month into AdWords. The next month, when we did not use AdWords, we made $15,000 more revenue. So it just didn't seem like the upstreak had anything to do.
Yeah, I think SEO. Like I've been spending. I think my website is about $100,000.
Wow.
In the last 6 months, I've been spending maybe $3,000 or $4,000 on SEO. And my traffic is really taking off. The quality of the leads I'm getting are a lot better.
Right, and the thing is, if the people who click AdWords, I hate to say it, it's just they're people who don't realize they're paid search results. Like I've never clicked a paid search result in my life. When I see that, my head immediately knows, wait, oh yeah, those are the search results people pay for. That's BS. So it's going to naturally be people that don't know that are clicking those links. Whereas,
well, I wonder what the demographics of them are. They're just like not very educated, difficult. I don't know.
Maybe they're just not as technologically savvy.
But so what? You rank well in the organic results.
Yeah, I mean, what I do is, a lot of people said that this was a bad thing, and this is one of the things that actually made it difficult for me to get any sort of investment. I do videos showing how to do everything I do. So it's, this is how you recover data from a phone that's been in the ocean.
How does that work?
Well, I just make guides on how to do it. and I show you that here's exactly how you do my job. Here's all the tools that you need. And then people that are searching, maybe they want to do it themselves. They see my guide and they go, yeah, it's a little complicated. Screw that. I'll just send it to him. But the thing is, it displays competence. And then once people say, okay, that person's competent, they may not need what I've offered, but then once they know somebody or see somebody on their Facebook posts that may need what I offer, they go, I saw that guy doing that, and he looks like the best at it. And then they compare my website to every other website. What's on every other website? We're certified. We have 25 years experience. Check it. And it's like, nobody cares about that. Nobody, because you wrote that yourself. It's not really a display of competence. It's a display of claiming that you're competent, which is much different than
very interesting, because what I have thought at times, I have a company that writes very detailed blog posts about different neighborhoods, real estate news essentially. And we're writing 8 a month and we get links from them. And it's really had a very positive impact. But what I've also thought of doing is doing YouTube videos and linking them to the website.
Here's honestly what I think.
Neighborhoods.
Yeah.
Do you think that might have a positive impact?
I'm going to go a little further. I'm going to apologize for jumping ahead.
Sure.
If you simply recorded the experience of dealing with another broker and then recorded the experience of dealing with you, that in and of itself would be the best advertisement that you could have.
Okay.
Because I'm saying, again, I
want
don't
to volunteer
Yes.
when it's done, when the deal's good.
Yes, absolutely. Because the thing is, as I said, I'm not exaggerating when I tell you that I've went to spaces where they said it was 1,800 square feet and it was 8. I'm not exaggerating when I say that here's another one. This happened about I think same thing, like 2.5 or 3 weeks ago. It was like right around the time that I started emailing you. I said I get maybe about 100 customers or so a day. I show up at a building and I say, yeah, this works. This elevator's a little slow for about 100 people a day. And then the building guy goes, oh, they would not let you in this building. I was told about 20. I was told 20. And then I look at my broker and it's like, are you serious? So I told you 100, you told this person 20, just so that you lied to him to get me in the building. So what do you think would happen when I actually sign a lease with these people based on what you told them?
You're restricting your lease on
Yeah, no, they would probably kick me out of the building. But the thing is, my broker told the landlord and told the managing agent or whoever of the building something different than what I told her to try to get me in the building. Like, she did not care what it was that I was actually looking for, and she didn't care if I'd wind up getting kicked out of the building as long as she just got that first commission. And it was such an obvious level of incompetence. I don't know if it was willful or, oh yeah, I'm just gonna slip that in there so that hopefully they don't notice, or if it was just ignorance and forgetfulness. But the experience of dealing with any other broker versus dealing with you, in and of itself, that is a reality show, would be by far the best modern advertisement for you there is.
That's very interesting.
I'm serious.
It's a great idea.
And you just cut it up a little bit. Like, okay, here's what it's like dealing with somebody who lies about the size of the space. Not to your normal 10 or 20%. I mean like 60%. Here's, okay, this is what I need. And then you show up and then they tell you something different. And then here's the experience of dealing with Alan. I tell you what I need. You actually show me something that is what I need. And some of the things that were great is I asked you for an office and you end up finding me a store anyway. Like, I think I told you that in the first day. You didn't give me what I asked for. You gave me what I actually needed. And that
would be a hell of an endorsement. That would make a difference.
Yeah, and the thing is,
make a difference.
that's what I have to do with my customers. They'll say, I want to pay you to replace this chip. And I'll go, why do you want me to do that? Okay, what are you looking for? Do you want data recovery or for this to work? And they'll go, I want it to work. And I go, okay, if I replace that chip, it's 50-50 that I'll even fix it, but more importantly, it's going to work for a week. So you don't want me to do that. What you really want is this: do you need the data? Yes or no? No? Okay. Sell this machine for $300, buy this one for $500. Now your total cost of getting something better is $200. Like, I try to tell people what it is they need, I try to give them what they need, not what they ask for. And you do that, and that's
they don't know what they need.
Yeah, I don't know.
You're not familiar with computers and devices.
Yeah, and I'm not familiar with real estate. I don't know what the hell I need. But the thing is, what makes somebody a professional is that they give them what they need, not what they ask for, and that's what you do. And I don't know how to, and I don't really know how it is you would get that across with a website by itself without reality.
Video is good. That's YouTube is a really good idea. I'll read you out the offer. I'll send it to you in the next hour.
Do you know how I'd be able to get my helmet?
Let me get some. That's absolutely right. I'll call. Hang on a second.
If you give him a call, if he's not available, no big deal. Because I have another one at the office.
Let me see if I can get you in there now or soon.
I don't think a website does justice the difference between dealing with you and dealing with somebody else.
That is a very interesting comment. Bear with me 1 second. What I want to do.
It has to be a way of advertising the experience with you versus the experience with somebody else.
Too many people have websites now. That's it's doing what everybody else is doing, and it's not great. Hang on 1 minute. Hi, is this Roberto? Hi, Roberto. Alan Rezinski. I showed the space. Of course. It's in the running. It has potential. My customer has not made a decision. But what did occur is my customer forgot something in the space. Would it be possible to get in there? Okay. James has the keys. Do you have his number by any chance? Yes. Yes. Okay, what's his name? It's not William. Okay, what's his name? James. Okay, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Bye now. Okay, so you think there's some flexibility there? Okay, thanks so much, Roberto. Take care. Now, if you can't make it now, I'm not far away. When I have lunch, I'll swing by and pick it up.
All right, thank you so much.
Sure.
I really appreciate it.
Okay, you know what? Let me see if he's nearby. Maybe you can go there now, save yourself a trip. So give me 1 second and see if I can get hold of him. Is James available? Yeah, hi James, it's Alan Rezinski, Metro Manhattan. Thanks for showing us the space. My customer forgot something in the space, a helmet, his bike helmet. Is there any way to get back in there in a few minutes, and if not, I can pick it up maybe at lunch or later today, and then I'll give it to him. You know what? Maybe I can meet you there later today, and then I'll Okay, fine. What time's good for you? 4:30? Okay, so I'll see you there. You tell me what's good for you. 4:30 works? Okay. Okay, James, I'll see you at 4:30. Thank you very much. Yeah? It's in the running. It's in the running. We've probably seen about 6 or 7 spaces. It's in the top 2. It could work. What's not retail is excluded because you can't have a lobby sign it. And we've seen 2 retail spaces, and it's in the top 2 out of maybe 5. So I don't think he's at the point of making an offer, but he's going to confer with his colleagues. Okay, I appreciate it. So we'll speak more at 4:30. Thanks so much. I'll see you then, and thank you. I'm sorry about that. Take care.
Thank you so much. Sorry for putting you in that position.
No problem.
All right.
No problem.
Thank you very much. I'll see you later.
I'll send you the revised offer. And
all right. Thank you very much. Yeah, just again, if any of you really want an idea of the night and day difference in brokers, because I did get some people giving me shit for saying that Karen lady wasn't that bad, the other ones weren't that bad. There really is a night and day difference when you work at somebody like this guy. So that Midtown space that they were asking 15.5 on, we've got them down to 12.8. Now we got to deal with that demolition clause. So remember, that space had a demolition clause that said that if they want to get rid of the building, they can, and they can kick me out. And that's cool. but they wanted to be able to pay me what I paid for construction. I don't like that for two reasons. A, what I paid for construction is not my only cost. B, what are you gonna you're gonna ask like for every single receipt? You know, like if I run to the hardware store real quick to buy some paint because I ran out of it, and I don't save the receipt, now I don't get to get paid for. Like, no, we need a static value. If you're selling the building, demolishing it, and putting a new one up, you are probably beyond 8 figures. You're probably in the 9-figure territory now as an individual. And if you're in the 9-figure territory, I'm not trying to pull some sort of like, yeah, I'm not trying to take shit that's not mine, but if you're gonna kick me out of what I signed for, and you're doing that because you're in the 100 millionaire range, now you're gonna pay me. So, again, I asked them to push for $250,000. We'll see. I'm also willing to lessen the notice time. I'm willing to lessen the amount of time of notice they have to give me if they're willing to give me the amount of money. One of the things that I learned from when they were trying to demolish and remodel one of the old buildings I was in is that time is really, really important to them. The faster they can kick everybody out, the faster they can get started with the work they need to do to build that property so that they have that equity and all that money and in the property that they've created, that they've rented out. And they are very, very keen on doing it as quickly as possible. So I think that the amount of money that I'm asking for is pennies in contrast to the time that's going to be really valuable to them. But again, as I said, as I told Alan, I will defer to him. I will defer to him, and I will let him kind of give me a guide on how it is I should be bargaining. I'm still going to push, you know. He tried to get me to offer a little more than I was comfortable with on that space. I kept it low, which is how I think they came back with a counter of 12.8. But I definitely value having somebody with his knowledge and experience to work with. And he's a pleasant guy. Like, I actually enjoy the experience of, walking around the city seeing these spaces with him. Whereas when I was with the Karen broker or the other ones, it's like, just get me out of here as soon as possible. I don't want to be near you. This is aggravating to me. You're not, you're not an honest person. You're not representing it's not even that you're lying about space or footage or any of that. Like, we're not talking about that. We're talking about just the base fundamental reality of who you are as a human being. You're not presenting me your real feelings. You're not presenting me your real self. You're presenting me a joke. Even with the first person that I saw that showed me some of those other office spaces, it's, you don't, the person that was showing me those first office spaces, the first video I posted of office space versus retail, I don't think that individual knew who they were. I don't think he knew who he was as a human being. Where his place in the world was, where his value lies, what he feels, what he thinks. Like, so many of these people, they're nervous. They're not. It's like doing your first session at a recording studio. You're so afraid of screwing up. You want the client to like you, so you laugh at shit that's not funny, and you say things you don't think, and you do things that you don't think are right, and it's just to seem like you're on the side of the client. But it's dishonest. And that's not the experience that I want to have. But it's the experience that I'm going to have if I deal with those types of brokers. And I'm done. You know what? I think I'm just done with it. I'm done with this. I see a space in the street, I'm going to call and get an idea of what's going on with it. I think going forward that I'm probably just going to have this dude do everything for me. Because at the end of the day, like, this is the type of person that if I wind up renting through somebody else, I'll still wind up paying him some money just for the fact that he actually showed me these spaces and put in real effort. I don't mean just took some bullshit, Word document template he found online and submitted offers for spaces that didn't fit my needs, that were ridiculous. But, he actually put in the time and the effort. I think, this is the type of person that actually earns his commission. All right, so I've got to check out another place, and then after this, I got to call Chase Bank. Why do I got to call Chase Bank? They have those ATMs that accept money. So they used to have like 4 or 5 tellers. Now they have 1 teller, a line out the door, and then you have 2 or 3 of those smart ATMs. And it says insert up to 200 bills. I never put the 200 bills because I know better. It's a fucking machine. I'm not putting that. So it says if you say you could take 200 bills, I'll trust you with maybe 30 or 40. So I put some bills in there, some hundreds, lots of 20s, $2,000. Machine just eats it. Pops out an error. I go to speak to the teller. The teller is not exactly happy with the fact that they have to deal with a customer. Because, fuck that. Why should I have to deal with a customer instead of just sit here and stare at my beautiful Windows XP Internet Explorer 6 machine and probably play Pac-Man all day. So they call the number on there and they say, okay, we put in a claim. Within 12 hours, you should see a temporary credit. And then when they audit the machine, you'll get your full money. That was a day ago. I don't have a credit in my Chase Bank account. So the question really then does become, what happened to the fucking $2,000 I put in that machine? Where is the $2,000 I put in that machine? I would like the $2,000 I put in that machine back, and I'm not going to stop bothering you until you give it to me. That's the reality of being a small business owner. It's lovely. All the little fun things like this. Anyway, so I will see you all later. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, I hope you learned something. I think that store was a little on the small side that he showed me. I don't think I'd be comfortable in it. I really do want to continue pushing for that 30th Street and 6th Avenue space that was next to the police station. That is the front runner at the moment. That's the one that I like the most. By the way, the office, I was not interested in it. I didn't show you what it looked like because there's people working there and they said, I don't know if they're okay with the photography. Now, if a broker is showing me a space, I don't really care so much if the broker is in the spot because they agreed to publicly meet with me. We're meeting on the sidewalk. I mean, it's different than me walking into somebody else's office space that didn't even consent to showing the space. Because I'm pretty sure that guy, he was doing the thing that I hate people do, where it's like, oh yeah, I own the building, do you mind if I show you what the space looks like? It's like, no, motherfucker, it's not yours. So I kept the camera down out of respect when I walked in there. But it was decent size, but again, it's not $12,000 worth to me because I'm not open to this thing where I have to have customers sign in. It's not going to happen. It's not going to work. I need to have a store, not an office. And Alan's right, just find yourself a place where you can get office kind of real estate pricing in a retail environment. So 30th Street and 6th Avenue is in the lead at the moment. I hope you're all enjoying this series. I never expected this to be a series. I just thought I'm going to see a place. I'm going to go see a place with Paul. Let me just record. I'll just record it and upload it just to see what people think. And I didn't realize that I would have about 5 times the viewership on that I did on board repair videos. So when I was uploading videos of just the crappy real estate places I was looking at on my phone, without a microphone, without a gimbal, 5 times as many of you are interested in where I'm doing board repair than the actual board repair itself, which is just kind of interesting to me. Anyway, so I will see you all later. I'm going to be driving this monstrosity back to the office so that I can call Chase and scream at them on the phone for several hours until they give me my fucking money. That's it for today. And as always, I hope you learned something.